Welcome to episode 8 of Psycho-Pass. Last time we learned more about Rikako and her father and Makishima's involvement in that whole thing and how she got to be in this situation. And it was really interesting and just got more victims piling up. So we'll see where that goes this time. We're going to watch and discuss. Got the subtitles and the timer on the screen if you want to follow along, or you can pull up the episode on your own. We're starting after any logos that may be at the beginning. Let's get into it. Episode 8 in 3, 2, 1, play. Kogami was taken off the case after realizing the connection between this and the Sasayama case. They have this blurry-ass picture with a name, and that's all they have. And this girl's just crazy. She kidnapped somebody else, so yeah. I was hoping we would save the other girl, but that didn't happen. Maybe they'll save this one. Usually in like a cop show, if you've got a kidnapped victim, you have at least one who dies in order to tell us that the crime is happening and that this person is a threat. And then you have somebody else kidnapped and they're the ones that we get to come in and save. So maybe we'll save this girl. But while the OP is playing, let me say that if you enjoy the videos, subscribe to the channel. Psycho-Pass comes out every Wednesday with new videos of other series every other day of the week. Also, check out the description down below. There's Twitter and Discord and such. Patreon, if you want to support the channel. Get these videos early. Polls and vlogs and all that. Thank you very much. See, I'm surprised this went into a 3-parter. And we're learning more about Makishima. They're, maybe gonna learn more about him by the end of this case? Maybe learn who he is. I don't know. I don't know how quickly they'll actually discover the man. It could be cool if they find out who he is and then it's just about actually finding him and learning about his motives, and I don't know. I like him. He's an interesting villain so far, so I want him to be involved heavily. The rest is silence. Okay? That makes sense. Yeah, so it makes sense that they're increasing security here, of course. Can those things not scan someone's crime coefficient? If they can, then like as soon as they meet her, like it should be obvious. I don't know exactly. Maybe they can't do that. Okay. But that's interesting what he said. Like, it's out of date, but that can make it rare and valuable. And that's interesting, too, that, like, the difference between the treatment of boys and girls. Wow. This traditional values for women. But yeah, if Makishima is against this society and against this system, then maybe he would value some of those old things instead. She has very strong opinions on this. Didn't expect to get an explanation like that for why she's targeting students of this school. I thought it was just because that's who she was around. They just happened to be nearby and it was convenient, but that's pretty interesting. Nothing? Oh, yes, hello. Oh, it was him. Okay. So we got more missing girls. Well, they're not. The place is like underneath the school, isn't it? So you know it's got to be somebody who's from here, and they've got to still be here. And they think like this guy specifically is still involved when he's not. Well, that's not helpful. There's a place that they know about that the cops don't. How do you find it? Yeah, of course. He can't officially be on the case, but you know they're gonna look into it and try to get in on it if they can. Oh, strong smell. I agree. All right. Nice. Smooth. These types of victims are completely different. Ah, nice. So basically, he's catching on to the fact that it's a different person doing it, but like the person behind it is still the same. Makishima. Just art display. Good eye though. Good thinking. Kogami's good at some detective work. Like he said, he wants to be a real detective rather than just like a wild dog. And he's pretty good. Okay. Wow. Even something like that, huh? Yeah, let's go. It's interesting, like, again, like profiling a criminal, figuring out, like, oh, it doesn't seem like they were abused, and just trying to figure out what they might be like, their age or their mental age. Oh, hi. That's creepy. Nice. Reader. Poison. Oh, okay. Wow. That's terrifying. So this is interesting, seeing where people are kept locked up. That's really cool. I was wondering about that. I'm glad we get to see it. You know, the guy gets dolls, he gets a bunch of books, you know, they got some stuff. This guy gets to draw. Whoa. Wow, dude. Why? I guess that's just your thing. This guy's definitely an artist, so yeah, let's ask him. Okay, he immediately identified her dad. So there you go. There's your lead. Yeah, you can, for sure. All right, they should be able to find quickly that he had a daughter and that she goes to that school. Yeah, there you go. Even faster than I thought. Right there on your watch. They're like, you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be here. Oh, it was a cute police drone, and now it's an old man. Scary. Yeah, you're not supposed to be part of this. But they found out information that you didn't, so fuck it. He did the job better than you, so. And he's just gonna go get her. Yeah, well, I request you to fuck off while we go catch the murderer. How about that? He's got like a wide ass head. Whoa! Alright, yeah, I mean, it should be pretty fucking high. Whoa! 472! I was gonna say it should be pretty fucking high. We've seen like in the 300s, but I don't think we've seen the 400s. You dumb bitch. What a dumbass piece of shit. You stupid ass teacher. Fuck off. Now she got away. I was like, what the hell are we gonna do? He just targeted her immediately. How is she gonna get away? This guy. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, like why you would want to object to somebody exploding, especially a minor. But also, like, I don't. I figured people in the society would just understand, like that's just how it works. That's what we do. Damn, she's being protected. Shit, that's pretty bad. 472, like damn. I don't know how high it can go, but like we've seen the 300s and that's bad. But then be in the high 400s. But yeah, like again, I understand obviously the perspective of not wanting her to be killed like that. But you let her get away, and that's bad. You kind of got it a little bit. He could explain it better. He had a suspicion. 472. Yeah, she's popular. Okay, they're gonna be able to find the location. That's good. And there he goes. He's on it before anybody else. Presumably she will be here. That's cool. What is this? Oh dear God! Look at the beautiful. Yeah, fantastic. Is that one of the recent? Are they? They're not going to save anyone. Everybody's dead, and he's listening in. All right, you're focusing on Kogami, learning a little bit about him. Mr. Shibata. I see. Yeah, so it looks like all the kidnapped girls are just dead and nobody could save any of them. Hideout's been found, so I guess it's time for you to leave. What's he doing? Sorry. Sorry, girl. Yeah, but you can't blame yourself. You really shouldn't have. She shouldn't have gone. That's harsh too. Like you can't even think too much about it. It's like, yeah, get it out now. Be careful with your hue. You have to have that little stipulation. Yeah. There's, of course, somebody behind it, which is the same person from before. Okay, so that's what he was doing. Destroying camera footage. But they've got some. Oh, there you go. They got some distorted audio of their conversation, and the name has been said, so he sees the connection. He knows this mysterious Makishima is involved. Yeah, I mean, the jig is up. They found the bodies, they're on your trail, so they're done with you. They're abandoning you, just like the other guys. You're done. You're not in their good graces anymore. Wow. I wonder if there's going to be anybody they find that they do actually like and stay. Like maybe he did this kind of thing with Cho Gusong as well, and actually did keep him around. But it seems like most people they aren't satisfied with. Wow. Sorry. Holy shit, we got some hunting dogs. That's terrifying. We're not even going to have to deal with the police and the dominators. She's going to get torn apart by robo hounds. There's this guy again, humming merrily. This is like a horror movie right here. Oh shit! I mean, I can't say I specifically feel bad for her considering what she's done, but it's still fucked up. And oh, All the while he's reciting all of this, and the other guy's humming. This is messed up. And here, oh my god, an actual hunt. Holy shit. What the fuck? Are you kidding? That's so much worse. Yeah, like, I don't know what this guy's deal is. He's just gonna blow her away. Holy shit. Oh my god. Had to kind of censor that one, hide it behind the dog. Oh my Christ. Poetic. Okay, learn a little more about Kogami. Okay, here we go. They're gonna be looking into each other. That's exciting. Don't, and now the episode's gonna end. God damn it. Shit! That was fucked. And I just laughed and smiled the whole time. It's because it's very entertaining. But yeah, that was pretty brutal. That's seems to be it for this episode, so let's talk about it. Alright, episode 8, we've concluded the Rikako story in a really strong way. This was a really good one, so to talk about the villains with Rikako and Makishima and learning more about her motivations and maybe a little bit of his was really cool. I didn't expect that conversation that they had at the beginning where they talk about why she was targeting the students at the school. I didn't expect to go more into her mind and find out more of why she's doing this. I just assumed, well, I mean, that's who's near her, that's just who she's targeting, but she had her specific reasons, and talking about how it relates to the specifics of how this school operates, since it's so unique and different than how most educational facilities are in this society. And when Makishima says, like, oh, this way of learning is outdated, but because of that, perhaps there's value in that, in its rareness. So, of course, if we don't know a lot about Makishima and about his motives and all the details around him, but from what it seems, he's clearly not a fan of this system, so maybe, he would rather things go back to how they were before, so he might agree with that part, that, yeah, maybe some things are outdated now to the people of this society, but there's actually value in them. Maybe he prefers the way things used to be. But she goes into detail about the divide between boys and girls in certain ways, how this school is kind of instilling these traditional values in these girls and kind of just carving them out to be this ideal, traditionalized, ideal of a woman, of a wife, of a mother, and she's not into that. She's like, oh, they're just turned into this art called a lady, and I guess she decided she can make them into more beautiful, unique art than that. And by the end, we see that Makishima clearly is not completely on her side. He gets rid of her just like he did the guy from the other arc, just dumps her when he's done. I don't know how many people are actually working with him. We have Cho and we have the other guy with the shotgun. I don't know about anyone other than that and how they came to work under him, but it seems like they're very picky about who they work with. They go after these people, they give them the tools to do what they want, and they just analyze them and see if they're the right fit for whatever they're trying to accomplish, and it seems like usually they end up saying no. So I don't know exactly what it was about her that he wasn't into, because we don't know exactly what he's all about yet. I don't know if he just thought she was thinking too small, because, I mean, it seems like this conversation might have been what finally made him realize, okay, I'm not totally on board with you. Maybe he just thought she was thinking too small, or that was too specific. He just didn't think that was very interesting. Maybe he didn't like the way she was going about it, because like she's talking about these women being kind of objectified and put into this role, and she's like, well, I can use their potential better, I can turn them into this other thing instead. But like, you're still doing the same kind of thing, like you're still objectifying them and making them into this other work of art instead. So it's just different, it's not better. In fact, it's worse, because they are horribly murdered, but that's besides the point. He might have seen it as like hypocritical in some way, I don't know, but he wasn't interested in continuing to work with her. So clearly it seems like they're trying to find people to go along with them, and will they? Will they find people they're satisfied with? I don't know, but that was damn brutal at the end. Him reading Shakespeare and the other guy humming while all this is happening, while she's on the run. I'm thinking, the cops are going to come after her, and for it to end the way that it did was so interesting, and like I said, brutal, when you realize that that's not what's going to take her out. That's not what's going to get her. The dogs coming after her just running for her life, hiding while these things hunt her down, is really dark. Getting stuck in the bear trap, ow! The thing coming and slicing her hand and just being face down with this thing, and fear and imminent death right upon you. Like, I don't feel bad for her because she's fucked up and she's horribly murdered many people, but so I don't feel bad for her personally, but still I can just acknowledge, like, oh, this is really pretty dark. And then the fact that the guy came out with the gun just kind of made it worse for me. Like, getting torn apart by the dogs would have been really horrible, of course, but just the idea that this guy came out himself, just decided to come out, put a shotgun to her face, and just blow her away, send her head flying off like that, to hide it behind one of the dogs. Couldn't show that kind of... You can show just like the full entire body, but you couldn't show the same thing happen to just a head. Is it because she's a teenager? Possibly part of it. Is it because it's more realistic, because it's a shotgun to the face rather than a crazy dominator? It's less crazy, which is probably why it had to be censored. The more over the top it is, the more you can divorce it from reality. But just a shotgun blast to the face, they felt like they had to kind of cover that up. Which, yeah, I get that. And that's just, yeah, the guy coming out and doing that while he's quoting this story and talking about the hunt. Holy shit, what a scene. And now he's interested in Kogami, who's of course interested in him as well. And so now they're going to kind of have a little back and forth of trying to learn more about each other. Makishima seems to have a bit of an advantage, though. They do get an audio recording talking between the two of them where they can learn a little bit from that, and they hear the name Makishima again to know that he's involved. But Makishima seems to have a little more. So he's clearly interested in Kogami, somebody who operates differently than a lot of cops and detectives in this day, and more like a traditional detective who uses logic and profiling and, does good detective work. Somebody who's probably would appeal to Makishima if they could get their ideals lined up, which I don't think is going to happen. Like, it's somebody who he might actually want to be on his team. But yeah, Kogami doing great detective work, as usual, figuring all this out. And I love when Akane tried to reiterate it and say, like, like profiling and all this stuff, she kind of was getting it a bit, but it was really up to him to explain. But he did a good job of figuring it all out, how these works were different than the previous case from years ago. But of course, we've got this whole Makishima connection, despite the person actually doing it being different. Just going into the school when he's not supposed to be on the case, just doesn't care. Just like, yeah, Akane, come with me, let's go. They went to the prison place, figured it out that it was the girl, showed up there, went in, busted in, past everybody, didn't give a shit. The teacher or principal or whatever was trying to slow him down. He's like, no, I'm gonna go get the bitch. And he went in there, and it's like, damn, he's got her. And of course the guy interfered, which, yeah, understandable. I get it. Just in this society, this is how you take out the criminals. This is what you do. So I kind of just expected them to go along with that and be cool with it, but for the teacher to watch it happen to one of his students who is still a child, and to be a little, upset that they're even coming in there and being that brutal in the first place and not wanting to see that happen to her. I get that, but, you let her escape, and as did other people, and that's not cool. And I was like, shit, you had her right there. How the hell did you let her get away? And now they don't know about the secret area under the school. How are they going to find her? But of course they ended up looking themselves, and then Makishima's the one who took her out. But yeah, 472. God damn. I mean, it makes sense because of how fucked up she was, but all the other guys we've seen have been like 300s. I think 300 is the limit. Like 300 is when you become a lethal elimination, it seems. Not only the 400s, 472. God damn. That was impressive. Yeah, where they went to the prison was really cool too. I was wondering about that. Like, where are these people kept? What is it like? So it was really cool to get to see that, and just to see some people in there. And it seems like I mean, I don't know the full extent of it, but it kind of seems in some ways better than modern prisons. I don't know exactly what their lives are like. Maybe they go crazy from being just alone all the time. Maybe they're constantly in solitary. I don't know if they ever get to go out and interact with other people, but they don't seem to really be in danger in any way. They get some things, like this guy's way into dolls, I guess, and he gets to have them. This guy's got his shit that he's smoking, whatever, and this guy gets a bunch of books. This guy gets to do his art. They get some things. Like, I don't know enough about the whole system to know, like, to compare it to modern day prisons, but I don't know, there are some things about it that are interesting. This guy totally covered in tattoos or whatever that he's covered himself with, giving them this info is cool. And yeah, it's just fun detective work, instantly like recognizing the father's art and then tracing it to her. And that might be another thing that Makishima didn't like, the unoriginality of it, maybe because it was too based off of her father's stuff, or like Kogami was saying, he's like, it doesn't seem like there's a message to this, at least not a strong one like there was in the previous case, because we learn more about that as well. And the guy got his fucking head shoved up his ass. Like, the victims were different, and the places they were put were different, and it seemed to be for a different person. The guy got his brain up his anus. Sure. But yeah, like, last episode was kind of about the message. She was talking about the message that she was intending to send here, but then Kogami just kind of came in like, nah, this doesn't have a message. This is unoriginal and not like that old stuff. So she was kind of trying to imitate certain people, and I guess failing in the eyes of not only Kogami, but Makishima, I guess. Yeah, it was a really good episode, a good conclusion to this story. I didn't want it to end. I'm like, I know it's going to end right here, and then, god damn it, like, with Kogami going after Makishima, and now him being interested in him right back. Yeah, just Akane's kind of being in the background a little more as Kogami does a lot of the detective work, and we really focus on this more rivalry between him and Makishima, with Akane along for the ride. But I like her too, and she has a very important role to play so far, so focus on her is good as well. But yeah, I didn't want it to end, and I'm really excited to see more after this. Will Makishima start being more and more relevant? Will they learn more about him? Will he ever make himself known to Kogami? Like, what's he going to learn about him? Like, what's going to happen here between those two? I can't wait to see. It should be really cool. Makishima is a very fun villain so far. Can't wait to see more, learn more about him, what he tries to do next. Should be entertaining. You know, another thing about the prisons, that one little thing they said that I forgot to mention, there is the whole poisonous gas thing. That's a little messed up. Just like in the event of emergency, they can just send in poisonous gas. That's a little scary to just be in there at any time. Like, I don't know what they consider an emergency that requires that. Does that mean whenever they feel like? Like, who knows? Maybe they just gas people on a regular basis and don't tell anybody. I guess I can't do that, because in some cases the cops do come to question some of these people and get some cooperation out of them. But I don't know, just having the threat of poisonous gas looming over you is kind of bad. But yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes from here with Makishima, so let me know your thoughts on this episode. We can talk about it down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out all the stuff linked in the description below. Really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.